Dollar Tree's crafting aisle is amazing, and I love these bead rings that you can find pretty much year round. I always grab a few. The great thing is that you can leave them just like this and create so many beautiful creations, or you can open them up and use the beads as needed. I'm going to open this one up and I'm going to pair it with one of these sets of rings. I love finding these at Dollar Tree when they have them. They come 3 in a pack and it's a great deal for $1.25. I'm going to open it up and then I'm going to take ring by ring and I'm just going to open them up because we want to thread some of the beads from the original ring. At this point, I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. I'm just going to keep threading them until I kind of see what I like. So once I have about maybe a third of the ring filled, I kind of lift it up and I kind of see what I want to see. You know what I mean? You add as many or as little as you want. Once I had the large one where I wanted it, I'm going to open up the medium size ring and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to keep threading the rings. Once I kind of have enough, I'm going to lift it up next to the larger ring and then I'm going to compare both and see if I like what I see. And if I need to remove a few from them, that's okay. Just remove it and move on. And then I'll do the same thing with the little one. So now that I have all rings filled, I'm just going to again pull them all together and see if I like what I see. All right, so now we're going to tape the opening on each ring because of course we open them. And just a little masking tape. You can also use clear tape if you want. And we're just going to wrap each one, making sure that it's nice and shut. And then I'm going to bring all the rings together, just placing one inside the other and then taping all the ones at the top right there, just like that. And you can use wire too if you want. All right, so we're going to take this burlap ribbon and I'm just going to fold it into kind of like an awareness loop ribbon and then scrunch it in the middle to make a very simple bow. We're going to keep this one pretty neutral, although you can add any color, any ribbon, anything you want. Once it's tied in the center, I'm just going to tie it to the top. It's going to hide the tape, of course, and just add that nice design. I added a little bit of hot glue on the knot so it stays nice and sturdy. And then I'm going to dovetail cut the ends. That way it's just nice. It just looks nice and finished. Again, keeping it neutral, I'm just going to add this cute little flower right there in the center. And some of these leaves. I'm going to cut off a little bit of the leaves, still giving it that leaf look. And then I'm going to hot glue them underneath the flower. This is just going to add design and color. But again, add whatever you want. I think adding colorful ribbon or even colorful flowers will look fantastic. Love the way this one turned out and what an easy craft. It took minutes to make. Love the way it turned out, but let me know what you think down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take the remaining ring with the beads and cut off the excess wire, and then we're going to curve the opposite end and tie it together. This is just like it was originally. It's just a smaller ring now. And then just shape it into a nice circle. I'm going to pair it with one of these signs. I love finding these. They're great to bring together as a whole or separate them for different crafts. That's what we're going to do with this one. I'm going to remove the staples from the back and then I'm going to sand down the edges. You see how the paper kind of overlaps? I'm just going to sand in a downward motion. This is going to remove the excess paper and smooth out those edges, and it works really well. I'm going to keep the design because I think it's actually quite cute, but you can change it to whatever design you want. Just remove the paper, sand it down, whatever you want. I'm going to take some jute string and I'm just going to tie it in a knot, loop it. This is because I want to tie it to the back. So I'm going to make sure that the circle is in the direction I need it to be, and then add glue and add the jute string right on top. I'm going to add more glue and then tape over it. This is just kind of clean it up, but also give extra support for the hanging piece because the beads do get a little heavy, I guess. All right, so now it's time to just bring everything together, and I want to place it inside the circle. Now I want to make sure it's nice and centered, not too high, not too low, just nice and evenly centered. And then I'm just going to tie with a simple knot. Again, I'm just going to kind of lift it up and see if I like what I see. I added a little bit of glue to the knot and cut off the excess. I'm going to take this cute little burlap style ribbon from Dollar Tree, cut off a piece. I'm going to loop it, and I'm just going to hot glue the ends and then hot glue that end onto the top. This is going to cover everything up and also provide something to hang it with. This ribbon is from a bundle I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to cut off a piece. I'm going to loop two ends and then just kind of tie it into a simple bow. I'm going to adjust as needed by pulling and tugging until I have the size that I want. I'm going to angle cut the ends and then hot glue it to the top. Of course, you can leave it just like this, but I am going to add some greenery to this one again. I love my greenery. You know that. I'm going to cut some of this faux boxwood from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add a couple little picks to each side. That way, it's just going to add texture, a pop of color, but still very neutral. Love this one. No pun intended. I'd love to know what you think of it. It's so simple. Again, a quick craft you can do in minutes. Let me know what you think down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take this wooden flower blank. Love when I find these. They're so cute and you can do so many beautiful crafts with it. I'm going to remove the jute string from it and I'm just going to sand it smooth just a little bit. And then of course you want to wipe and remove all dust from it. I'm going to add Mod Podge to the top and I'm just going to spread it nice and evenly. We're going to do that Mod Podge technique I've used several times now. Set it to the side to dry. And by the way, this dispenser is such a good glue dispenser. Highly recommended. And I have it in my Amazon store linked below. I love using Dollar Tree calendars. They're so versatile and they have beautiful designs that you can use for crafting. This design in this 2025 calendar is gorgeous. I'm going to take leftover beads on this ring, cut off the excess wire, and again, we're just going to loop one end, tie them together to create a smaller ring. This is even smaller than the one we did earlier. I'm going to shape it into a nice circle and put it to the side temporarily. The flower is nice and dry, so now I'm going to place the design. This is where you want to really lift it, maybe put it towards the light. Make sure that it's nice and centered and even. Once you have it where you want it, I'm going to place parchment paper and we're just going to iron it. This is going to activate the Mod Podge and attach it very, very nicely. Love this technique. And then we're going to sand down those edges once again for a smooth finish and be able to remove that excess paper. It's such a great way to do so. All right, so now we are going to attach the ring to the top of it. So we're going to add jute string to the top, tie it in a knot. And similarly to what we did earlier, we're just going to add hot glue to the back, add the jute string, make sure that the beads are on top of it, not on top. Does that make sense? Make sure it's not behind it. That's what I mean. All right, so I'm going to add masking tape to this one as well, again for extra stability. Cut off the excess jute string, and then we're going to flip it. Now, you can leave it just like this. I think it looks really cute, but we're going to do something similar that we did earlier. This is a pink ribbon. We're going to make 2 loops and just make a very simple bow. Once again, tug and pull as needed to the size that you want, and I'm going to hot glue it to the top. I'm going to angle cut the ends, and then of course we're going to add some greenery. This time it's these nice long, kind of like vine style. I'm going to add it behind the bow and just kind of droop them to the sides. Do the same thing on the other side. Now to keep them where I want them, I'm just going to hot glue one of the little leaves to the surface. This is going to keep it nice and sturdy. Love this one. Oh my word, the colors, the freshness. Again, an easy craft you can do in minutes. Love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take another of the rings, open it up, and we're going to remove some of the beads from it. Now, if you have beads, regular beads, not in the ring, use those. Of course you can. I'm going to take several pieces of jute string. We're going to cut them in about 12 inches, give or take. I'm going to use 4 because that's all we need for my family, but you can certainly use more if you want. I'm going to thread 10 beads onto each string, and I'm going to tie it in a simple knot and then put it to the side. Again, I'm going to do 4 of these because that's what we need, and what we're creating are napkin rings. I'm going to do the same thing with the other 3. Just thread 10 beads, tie it in a tight knot, but don't cut off the excess string because we're going to need it here in just a second. Now, with different crafts that I've made and different things that I've purchased at Dollar Tree, often I get these little tassels left over and I never throw them away. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to remove the excess little ribbons and things that are just hanging from them. Basically, just clean them off nicely. Then we're going to use this stitching needle. We're going to thread the string from the ring and we're going to insert it in between the tassel, the top of it. You see that? We want to tie the tassel to the end of this one. And again, just make a very simple knot. Add a little bit of hot glue to tighten that knot and then cut off the excess. I'm going to do the same thing on the other three. Now, these are different thickness and different lengths. I'm not going to do much about the thickness, but with the length, we are going to cut them and make sure that they're nice and even. That way, they're all going to look similar, not exactly the same, but very similar. So I'm just going to kind of measure the smaller one and just kind of trim things as needed to make sure they all look, again, nice and similar and clean. Now that they're all looking so pretty, I'm going to bring in these linen napkins that I got on Amazon. Now, I only have 4, again, because I only have 4 of us here at home. This is a very traditional way. Just fold the napkin in a very traditional way. You can also kind of fold them in a loop kind of way, and then just thread it through the napkin ring, and then just adjust as needed. Of course, these are very neutral, but you can add any color for any holiday. Add a little Christmassy tag or an Easter bunny. I think they'd be so cute. So customizable. Love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.